Well, well, well. We have a movie to talk about. A movie we've been looking forward to for a while now. And I'm actually curious how this review is going to go because, believe it or not, Hatman and I have not talked about this movie together yet. So, let's go ahead and get started. My name is Micah Curtis, the Vanilla Gorilla.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, Team Godzilla.
What team will I be on? Find out here in a second on Mike and the Hatman. I am also on Team Godzilla.
Yay!
That's right, folks. I am a traitor to all gorilladom. Because I didn't elect King Kong. All right? I didn't get together with all the other vanilla gorillas and elect this motherfucker. Oh, no. Who the fuck is that guy to say he's a king of anything? Seriously.
Big monkey.
Yeah. Don't care. Do not care. I did not cast my vote for King Kong, all right? Fuck all that. He is not my representative.
You big monkey. You don't vote for a king.
Well, that's the thing. I'm American. I demand elected representation. I didn't elect him. Fuck him. You know what? Fuck him.
Fuck him.
No kaiju destruction without representation.
Yes.
Oh man. Anyway,
I'm gonna go make Gorilla Rapture now. It'll be. We'll somehow be able to put a jungle underneath the ocean.
Oh my god.
We already get a donation.
So
Chaos Sonic goes in a bucket, says, "Sorry I'm late. AT&T was being a bitch, kept going in and off. Just ended up talking to them when the politics podcast is over. It's all right, Chaos Sonic. I'm glad you're here, buddy. So
it's all good.
All right.
So anyway, Rillaboom versus for alligator.
What?
Yeah, that's right. You don't know many Pokemon past Gen 1.
No.
That's unfortunate. Godzilla versus Kong.
Yes.
What did you think about it? I don't know really where to
all right.
where to lead into.
So we'll do a non-spoiler thing. Do I still have the spoiler tag? I hope I do. I might not. I might have to put it up real quick. So, because people have asked to
Crystal Hydra.
People have asked to not be spoiled on this because they haven't watched it yet. So if you want to watch it, it of course is in theaters, but it's also on HBO Max, which is how I watched it because theaters in my area are sadly still closed. We also got another donation. So bear with me for just a sec. Here we are. So, whenever spoilers are happening, that will be up. So let's turn that off for a second. So, I'll go ahead and give my thoughts then. So, without spoiling anything, I understand the thought of this is a big monkey fighting a big lizard. The human stuff does not matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
To degrees, I completely agree. But if the human stuff is really cringy, it's gonna stand out. And I have to say this right now. Yeah, that's kind of what did it in for me. Those were clearly like the weakest parts of the movie. Now they were always destined to be the weakest
absolutely.
parts of the movie. Absolutely destined to
Yeah.
be the weakest parts of the movie. But the thing about having a weak link in the chain is if it's too weak, it's gonna break. And it was almost at that breaking point. Hey, Bobcat, relax, dude. I'm just now getting to the donations. Good lord, man. I know you're in a mood, but we're all friends here. He throws in a book and says, "So what? They're assuming King Kong and Godzilla aren't queer? Who's the real picket?" So Queen Kong. Fair enough. Yeah, maybe they're really battling to be queen of the monsters.
Non-binary Monarch Kong. Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
But yeah, like the Bernie and Josh stuff, like, made me want to cringe out of my skin. Like that stuff could have been so much better than it was. The human elements around Kong though were pretty good. Because it all made sense because it was to serve the greater story, to keep the plot moving.
Yeah. And it made sense too to have someone who could actually communicate with him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that directly served the story. So I'm not going to say anything bad about it. I can't.
So, let me just say this. The idea of having the sketchy, neurotic black man was very Michael Bay. I don't really like that archetype. I really don't. I understand it's supposed to be a blockbuster film, like all this other stuff, but yeah, it's like, come on. But yeah, the rest of it were the rest of it was fun. And really that's kind of how I describe this movie. It's dumb fun. You know, if you want to turn your brain off.
That's...
You were going to say something? Never mind. Okay. The whatchamacallit, I think you're lagging a little bit. But while we wait for Hatman's internet to catch up. Ultimately though, this is just a turn off your brain and have fun movie. You know, it's a popcorn flick. And a pretty good one. Am I going to sit here and tell you it's an instant classic or something? No. And yeah, it's a, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it for, like, as part of a streaming service. Would I have gone and seen this opening day in theaters, knowing what I know now? Probably not. I probably would have seen it as, like, a matinee. So yeah, it gets a recommendation from me, but under certain circumstances. You know, whenever it comes to theaters and things like that, I feel like we kind of have to recommend. It's like, how much money should you really spend on seeing this quickly? It's a matinee, so
yeah. Ironically enough, I kind of missed what we had of the human story from the other MonsterVerse movies, because this felt sincerely lacking. And the only reason why is because it felt like it was building up to something that it did ultimately get to. The payoff was there, but the payoff wasn't there in the way that I expected and kind of needed it to be. Like, I don't think this is a spoiler. Fucking, oh shit, I'm gonna forget his goddamn name. Tywin Lannister. He's not in this fucking movie at all. Whereas the post-credit scene of Godzilla King of the Monsters kind of set him up to be arguably like the next big bad, or someone who would set up the next monster fight. And he's
just gone.
Fucking appeared. Yeah, just totally fucking gone. Pretty much everyone from the last movie is gone, save for Millie Bobby Brown and her dad. And that's basically it. Like, everyone else, and I understand, like, Ken Watanabe's character fucking died.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that he's not there. But you would think there would be literally anything else. Or, like, mention of the Mothra egg or something. No. Oops. We totally forgot about it, apparently. So, I get it, because they wanted to just streamline it and go to monster fights, but at the same time, like, what they had set up kind of felt like there wasn't really the payoff in the way that I was expecting it to get paid off. Like, we knew it was going to result in Godzilla versus Kong. We knew that from, the announcement of Kong and the Monsterverse. Like, yeah, okay, this is where it's going to lead to. But everything else is like, well, let's just focus on this because literally nothing else matters. Okay, whatever. So, yeah, definitely a turn off your brain sort of thing. As far as the, battle of the Gargantua themselves, fuck. I was entertained. That was entertaining as hell. Goddamn boat fight was cool. Hong Kong fight was really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And the one complaint that I have really is that they didn't feel evenly matched. Like,
no, they didn't.
You could tell that it leaned one way, and I won't say until spoilers. You could tell it leaned one way. Like, there was a clear favorite here.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that the humans straight up say, round 2 goes to this person who was the opposite of who won the first round. Not really. It didn't look like that to me. It didn't look like the fight was fucking over. So yeah, I can't complain because the fights were still badass.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they were definitely leaning one way. And I think that's all I can really say about the content of the movie without moving into spoiler territory. So I'll say too, like, I think this would be better experienced in a theater, but probably a matinee as well. Though I will give it that a 2-hour flat runtime is pretty good, pretty streamlined. I didn't feel like the movie went on too long at all. If anything, I felt like it was too short. But I can't really complain about the runtime.
There you go. A couple donations real quick. Servant throws in a buck and says King of the Monsters had more stuff for intelligent discussion. This movie is basically Huge Lizard versus Big Monk.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then Bobcat throws in a buck and says, you think the plot lines getting pruned was related to Toho pulling the rights so they can make their own movies? I didn't even know they had.
Very possible, and that's another thing that I noticed too, the distinct lack of the Godzilla theme.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was so happy to have in King of the Monsters. So happy to have that. And then it's like random Junkie XL shit. Okay, whatever.
Alright. I think it's spoiler time. So Godzilla whooped Kong's ass.
Good God, son. Who was it? Was it Ryan Potter in the chat that said, yeah, he got my War of the Gargantuas reference, but Fight 2 was too many fights? No, it wasn't. Bullshit. just because Godzilla hit the canvas doesn't mean the round was over.
No.
No. No. No. Godzilla fucking raffle stomped Kong.
Yeah.
And Kong had a fucking nuclear axe in round 2, and he still couldn't do shit with it.
He needed the fucking weapon. Like, he needed the weapon to be on Godzilla's level. You know? Like, Godzilla was just like fucking rip and tear, you know?
Yeah, seriously.
And I am a big Godzilla fan. You know, I love Godzilla as a character. I'm still pushing, all right, you got Toho's got the rights back. Give me Godzilla versus Evangelion, goddammit. I just want to see
do it.
I just want to see Shinji react to Godzilla. That would be fucking hilarious.
I mean, there's an attraction for it already, so half the work's done.
There's actually a model kit of a nerve version of Mechagodzilla.
Nice.
So, if you guys don't know, Hatman and I are big Evangelion fans.
Yes.
Chaos Sonic threw in a bucket and says, I felt the only reason for that axe was to give Kong an edge. And let's face it, Godzilla is the true winner to even put Kong in cardiac arrest. Exactly. He killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He literally kills him in this. Like, yeah. And then Optimus, who also is a huge Godzilla fan, says, to be honest, Kong needed human help in all his fights, even against Hollow Earth monsters. Exactly. So, it goes without saying that, Kong was kind of getting, like, stomped around. I really felt like every time Godzilla showed up, you should have just played the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme. Because that's what's about to happen. Somebody's just about to get their ass whooped. Actually, no, Mark Henry's theme.
Stone Cold!
Well, Mark Henry's theme, it's like the lyrics to it is like, somebody's about to get your ass whipped. So, though I will give Kong credit, he gave Godzilla enough of a fight where Godzilla didn't have enough to take down Mechagodzilla by himself. So
yeah, that is true.
So I'll give him that.
So yeah, Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla's in this. That's the twist. You know.
That's pretty much where I thought it was going based on the whole severed Ghidorah head post-credit scene. I kind of figured that, yeah, okay, they're going to go down the Kiryu route, where he's built around the bone. Well, not necessarily built around the bones of an old Godzilla, but around the skull of Ghidorah, and of course, it would go berserk. Which, yeah, that's where they got their Mechagodzilla from. The design, on the other hand, I really don't like it. I do not like that design.
It was not impressive at all. Few donations here.
No.
Let's see here. Servant throws in a buck and says, for those wondering, due to a landslide of a vote, Prince of Egypt is this week's movie this Thursday in Micah's Discord server for $1 or $5 to get you into, and you don't need a nuke axe to get in at that. There you go. And
nice.
Then Changus threw in a buck and said, well, there is a 4D Godzilla vs. Eva ride at Universal in Japan, so that's why I want it.
That's what I was talking about a second ago.
And
it's great.
Then Chaos Sonic says, am I the only one that felt the billionaire telling the pilot to get in the chair as an Eva reference? Everybody noticed that.
Yeah.
That was definitely an Evangelion reference. Bobcat throws in a buck and says, my friend's narration in the second fight, Kong trying to get away. Godzilla knocks him down and stands on him. He's like, no, you wanted my attention. Now you got it, boy. Exactly. It's like, you wanted this fight, asshole. Now you got it. You're trying to get away? Well, that's what I liked about it, is there was just the fights were really good. They were really good because they were primal. And that's the thing. They
even did the eat your vegetables reference too, with Kong sticking the fucking butt end of the axe straight into Godzilla's throat.
They did, yeah.
I love that shit.
They did not wreck
They
did not wreck a Japanese castle together, though. So
no, they didn't. Unfortunately, no. Kong just sort of became Thor.
Pretty much at that point, and
he tried to go for the head.
Yeah, he just got fucking whooped. I even put a whoop in that.
He got his ass whooped.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. But let's see here. D.E. Lloyd says, don't see why people are surprised Godzilla won his fight against Kong, given the fact that Godzilla fought a god dragon in King of the Monsters. That's a fair point. So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, as a Godzilla fan, I was satisfied. I would have liked the human element just to be a little bit less cringy, and then I think I would have liked it a lot more. Because again, like that stuff, like with the podcaster, felt very Bayformers to me, and I don't like that feeling.
Yeah. But I was very, very entertained by it. It was, yeah, it is definitely a fucking popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Like even if I'm like, bitching about little shit like, oh, the Godzilla theme is not in there. Oh, they don't have any other Toho monsters. Oh, they, Mechagodzilla kind of looks like shit. Fuck it. Big monster fight.
Yeah.
Big fucking monster fight.
Yeah, Ultimate Agent makes a good point. He says Godzilla tanked a nuke. Well, he is nuclear though, so he just absorbed that shit. But and then Optimus says the ending was like, Godzilla, okay, monkey, you can hang in Hollow Earth, but don't you dare come back up here. Exactly. You come up these stairs, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
I will tolerate your continued existence.
Exactly. That's what it felt like. That's what the final look basically was. He's like, you can live. But that's it. All right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. So I write better black people than Ta-Nehisi Coates. There's some people out there. There's a certain blue-haired land whale that gets very offended when I say that. She also gets very offended by a certain shirt that I wear. So as I sit here with my Kuma's Corner t-shirt on, let me stress, I write better black people than Ta-Nehisi Coates does.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh,
and
wow.
Now it can be just confirmed that I just write better comics than he does. Because I'm not so stupid as to think that Jordan Peterson's worldview is anywhere near compatible to the Red fucking Skull.
Holy shit.
And here's the funny thing about it. A lot of people got up in arms about this. And how many years have I been saying this now? That Ta-Nehisi Coates had no business in comic books? 3-4 years now?
Pretty much since his run on Black Panther.
Micah was right.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like an essayist does not translate very well into writing fiction.
No.
Especially fiction with established characters with decades of fucking history behind them.
Yes. Not to mention, and I will say this as somebody who is a columnist, a political columnist, professionally, it is hard to translate from one to the other. I can do it because I'm good at it. But it is not easy. But then again, I'm a better writer than Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Well,
at least in comic
the
books.
problem with the Jordan Peterson being Red Skull or Red Skull being Jordan Peterson is that it's a fucking lazy comparison. I mean, at the end of the day, it falls into the same kind of trap of I want to show my political opponents as villains, so I am literally going to make a straw man caricature of them, and anyone who agrees with me is not going to find any issue with this at all. And if anyone disagrees with me, well, fuck them. It's lazy goddamn writing.
Yeah.
And in some ways, that's more fucking offensive than the content itself.
And one thing that I find so funny about this is that it is either one of two things. Either A, Ta-Nehisi Coates is desperate to frame Jordan Peterson as something evil, so he does that. Or B, he is so ignorant to either what Jordan Peterson talks about or what Nazism discusses that he doesn't understand how the two worldviews are so different than one another. Real quick, I'm going to read a donation, then I'm going to discuss something specifically. Bobcat threw in a bucket and says, you also have the unfair advantage of actually liking fiction for its own sake instead of the message. This is true. But
It's true.
Let me say this about this. The alt-right hates Jordan Peterson. Vox Day, who is an idiot, and the people who associate with him are idiots too. Vox Day tried to do a whole book destroying Jordan Peterson. He went on to Alex Jones's channel and lied about Jordan Peterson blatantly, as in like actionable lies. Like if Vox Day had any money, he could have been sued for it, you know. Because he said like in the book he said in 12 Rules for Life that Jordan Peterson tells mentally ill people to get off their meds. No, he doesn't. Mm-hmm. That's a bold-faced lie. So, but then again, Vox Day's book was so bad. I only read the first chapter of it, but it was so bad. He spends most of that first chapter trying to convince himself he's a smart person. Yeah. I'm gonna just say this for you. Strong people don't have to convince themselves that they're strong, and smart people don't have to convince themselves that they're smart. Okay, like Jesus Christ. But
here's your reminder that Alt Hero Q is a thing.
So one thing to mention on top of that is that in my opinion is evidence of how much the alt-right fucking hates Jordan Peterson. Well, and I've seen like fucking Richard Spencer spurg out about him and other people like that, and and it's because they're threatened by it. You know, Jordan Peterson's ideas are very individualistic. They're not tribalistic at all. They're about the individual and the strengthening of the individual and understanding that you as an individual have a purpose. You have a reason for being. You know, and that is a good thing, and you have value. You as a person have value. You don't need, your melanin does not dictate your value. You know, your social status does not, completely dictate your value. These are beliefs that run antithetical to the alt-right. They also run antithetical to the radical left as well, which is why Coates, who is a radical leftist, treats this the way that he does. I think Coates knows. Because here's the thing. I know Coates has had a lot more education than I have. So I will give him that. He actually probably knows a lot more about philosophy than I do. I gathered that simply from his Black Panther run. Because he referenced several different philosophers in it. He didn't understand them, but he at least has read them. He's just not. He's smart enough to know what they said. He's not enough to. He's not smart enough. He's not wise enough to decipher why they said it, and the purpose of the statement. So, and Motunui, you absolutely have value, and I'm happy you're here, buddy. But when it comes right down to it, the framing shows either desperation or just lack of knowledge. I think it's desperation. I think that the success of Jordan Peterson makes a lot of radical left thinkers and thought leaders feel desperate because he has a message that goes against everything that they believe in, you know? And I thought Just Some Guy, his video on this, I thought he nailed part of it in the bud. Is that people like Ta-Nehisi Coates don't want to see any young men, especially young white men, because because Ta-Nehisi Coates is a racist. Like, people have like screenshots of his old Twitter feed. It is one of the most racist things you'll ever read.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah, he is a race swapped Richard Spencer. But anyway, the these guys feel desperate because they're losing cultural relevance to someone like Dr. Peterson. And the thing, in my opinion, they deserve to lose it. Because, again, I believe people have value. Even shitheads, even though I don't like them, I know that they have value. I believe as a Christian that God gives us all value. And at the end of the day, it's that positive message should be out there. People should not fear to say it. And I think that fear is exposed with that. I think it is. Nick White says, did Coates delete those tweets? Coates quit Twitter because Cornel West called him out on a lot of the philosophical issues in his writing, and he couldn't take the criticism, so he just dipped out. And Cornel West has actually asked to debate him in public several times, and Coates won't do it. Coates never answers calls for debate, ever. He's scared of it. He'll never debate his ideas because they won't hold up. Because I legitimately think he's a crazy person. I don't think he's an idiot. I just think he's not wise, and I don't think that he's completely sane, which is different. Like, crazy people can be intelligent, but they have a mental illness. I legitimately think that Ta-Nehisi Coates does have a mental illness. So,
I thought you were talking about Cornel West.
No, Dr. Cornel West is a guy with a lot of bad ideas because he's a Marxist.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say Coates crosses over into mental illness territory unless it's like narcissism. That I could see that, but honestly, it looks more like unchecked ego as opposed to just straight narcissism.
I think that's definitely part
of it. But again, I'm not a psychologist, so I can't diagnose anything.
Everything that Coates has had over the last 15 years has been gifted to him. He hasn't earned any of it.
Yeah, this is true.
All right. So retard, I'm banned from Twitter again. Fucking box writers.
Yep. Oh, there you go.
So rewriting Ripley has been in the nerddom news a lot lately. Fucking Christ. So it goes without saying that there's some problems with these people. Aiden Paladin. Hey, Aiden, what's up?
To say the least.
Yeah. Our friend Aiden Paladin, she actually put out a video today about it that was fucking awesome, by the way.
Yeah, it pretty much took their little piece on why hating on The Last Jedi leads to the alt-right and just ripped it to shreds, set the shreds on fire, and then pissed on the ashes.
Mm-hmm. Well, knowing Aiden, I think she's a little too classy for that last part, but yeah.
Well.
So, needless to say, though, these guys have been making their rounds, and we want to kind of discuss what's been going on with them. So, basically, this podcast exists to be like an anti-fandom menace podcast. Now, their name is... Their name is in reference to Ellen Ripley. And apparently they have some issue with the way that Ellen Ripley was written, in which case, so this character, Ellen Ripley, has been like the dictionary definition for strong female lead. And I don't know, I'm guessing that they probably think she's not enough of a Mary Sue. Because...
Yeah, I suppose.
Because the thing about...
Rain's coming down here.
The thing about Ellen Ripley is that she builds as a character to become a badass. She's not a badass at the start of Aliens. She's just not.
Oh, no.
I was going to look something up and then I forgot. But there were some specific things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think wow, rewriting Ripley is an op.
Okay.
There's too much that doesn't make sense. For example, they initially claimed, and I saw this account pop up when they were still like really small, like a couple hundred followers. Um, they claimed that it was supposed to be a podcast about, you know, women in geek culture, specifically female characters. Uh, of course, the name implies that, you know, they were going to re-examine how female leads like Ellen Ripley were depicted. And then they went straight into Star Wars shit. And after people found out who was behind this whole ordeal, it made sense. Because the two women who are behind it are both Reylo shippers. I won't get into my personal feelings about Reylo shippers.
Cancer.
If you know how I feel about shipping in general, you'll know. Yeah, you'll get into it. But I think the fact that they try to posture themselves as we're about, you know, women in media, and then immediately move into Star Wars territory, specifically, if you hated The Last Jedi, you're probably an alt-righter misogynist. Something doesn't smell right.
No.
And then it came to light that someone who was doing PR for Lucasfilm was also involved with them and one of their first followers. And then other Lucasfilm employees started showing up there, and other blue checks just randomly start showing up, which that's not an organic thing. Typically, you don't start getting the blue checks and those numbers until your shit has kind of exploded. And as of this podcast, I believe they're at 2,100 followers on Twitter. So they're still relatively small, all things considered, especially for a podcast that has gotten attention from all over the fucking gamut and inspired, I think it was a Hollywood Reporter article. So something doesn't smell right. It seems like there are some clear connections here, which is why I say I think this was an op from the start. I think this was a way to characterize all of the fandom menace as, you know, alt-writers, whatever, and create a controversy there of a gate, if you will, in order to profit off of it and build a narrative off of it. Whereas the fandom menace thing doesn't fall into the Gamergate or the Comics Gate. So they need a gate for themselves in order to prop themselves up as, you know, these new heroes of the hashtag resistance.
Yeah.
It does not smell right, and frankly, I think if we just ignore the shit, it will probably go away.
Yep, I would agree with that. One thing to mention on that is a couple of different things that, like, one of them is like downright devoted to trying getting EVS kicked off of YouTube permanently. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I will say, I have words about EVS, but some of them are positive, some of them are negative. One thing I will say is this, like, the jokes that he was cracking, he has a very dark sense of humor. But if you have a dark sense of humor, you'll get it. I don't think having a dark sense of humor means that you should be kicked off of YouTube. And I've been the butt of one of those jokes before.
Yeah.
Because he said he would use me. I would be the best pick for a human shield. All he was saying is Micah's huge, and making a joke about it. I don't care. I am huge. So, gorilla.
Huge.
Like, so, but you know, he's been a dick to me lately. But he doesn't really. He doesn't deserve to lose his channel over a coarse fucking sense of humor.
Or
you know,
or some bullshit like because he cut the heads off of some Rose Tico figure. Like
he was showing how shitty they were.
What the fuck does that matter?
Yeah, the fact of the matter is this: is that the other thing about it is that Ethan is one of those dudes that he knows how to take people who try to bring his business down and use it against them to get even more business. Mm-hmm. He's masterful at it, and that's something I'll give him kudos for. You know, so it's not a smart idea, you know, to just do that to the guy. Like he's gonna find a way to use it against you. So there is that. The other thing that I would say, if they ever bring up the fact they were doxxed, they were not doxxed by somebody in the Fandom Menace at all.
Yeah, they claimed it was the quartering. They claimed it was Quarter Pounder who doxed him.
No, he did not. Because here's the thing. The dox that was posted was not from Jeremy. You know, I'm not a fan of Jeremy or his content, but he's not a doxer. And on top of that, the dox was posted on Kiwi Farms, which I don't think Jeremy goes to. And the thing about that is that I know the person who posted it. His username on there is Smug Frieza. His real name is Thomas Roylup. And this isn't, and I'm not doxing him. He has said this publicly. And Roylup is actually, or was attached to Doug TeNapel until the point that it was inconvenient for Doug to have him attached to him. And just about anybody who has used dox to threaten people within that are CGers, John Del Rose being one person who has done that. He did that to Clint Stoker. He got it from Thomas Roylup. You know, it was the two guys in Anti-Comicsgate who did that. It was Roylup was one of them. The other one was this guy named Matt Mers, who has kind of disappeared since he lost a court or didn't. He tried to basically get somebody arrested for memes and it backfired. But anyway, it wasn't somebody that was within the Fandom Menace at all. Like, and it wasn't the quartering. It was this guy who, I shit you not, still lives with his mother and is so stupid that I think he's had 2 channels removed for community guideline strikes for legitimate reasons. How do you fuck up that bad? So all it is it's just a cycle of retards. One feeds into the other, You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end of the day, you know, the scumbaggery is not coming from the Fandom Menace on this one. I am in agreement. This is an op. It really is. And I think that what these guys what they don't understand is that they are going to ultimately end up fucking up, and they're just going to feed and give more content to people like the Quartering, like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and all these other people, to make fun of them. And people are going to enjoy the fuck out of it because it'll be entertaining to make fun of. So, gay ops are always the dumbest thing you can do because they never work.
Yep. So, it's fucking dumb. Treat them as trolls. Fucking ignore them. Don't give them the attention that they're craving. Don't turn them into the martyrs that they want to be. Just... Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and...
Let this be the fucking end of it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the Q&A. So, SGD wanted to know, have you ever experienced a piece of media that you did not enjoy, then later experienced another piece of media that you did enjoy, and it was essentially the first piece of media done right? Every MMO ever, and then Monster Hunter World. This is basically what Monster Hunter World is. It actually the fighting is the fun part, and that's what people oftentimes play games for, is to kill shit, and it is so good. Oh, I had a donation I still need to read. Dirty Dan threw in $5, says these people spent 3 gosh diddly dang years defending a crappy first draft script was anything more than a piece of trash that it is, all because they like a ship. I miss Star Wars. I'm with you there, buddy. Actually, no, there's a couple I missed. D.E. Lloyd wanted to know, since WB asks, lacks leadership, would you rather see Kevin Feige of the DC Extended Universe other than Snyder? They really do need a producer that is not Zack Snyder, that is interested in building a universe. And I think that James Wan is the guy to do it. And then finally, Chaos Sonic threw in a bucket and said, what I find hilarious about it is Peterson was able to turn it against Coates and Marvel and has now made memes about it. Yeah, Hail Lobster is now a thing. Anyway. So yeah, that would be my pick, is Monster Hunter World. Like, it does all the things right that MMOs tried to do and fail at. What's your pick, Hatman?
I'll be a little bit more straightforward. N64 Ocarina of Time and 3DS Ocarina of Time.
Fair enough.
Like the Ocarina of Time 3D fixed pretty much every problem with the original Ocarina of Time, which just made it so unfun to play. And frankly, going back to the N64 version, it has not aged well. It does not feel good to play. I would much rather play Ocarina of Time 3D. That is absolutely the definitive version. And I don't just mean the water temple either. So,
D.E. Lloyd wanted to know, thoughts on the animated series Invincible, and what indie comic would you want to see in an adaptation? I've enjoyed Invincible so far, and I want more Spawn.
There you go. My head is itching.
Let's see here. Diva Night Rose wants to know, could you do a shout out to her karate sensei, Sensei Sam, because he's been a fan of Godzilla vs. Kong since the first one, wrote a paper about it for high school. Movie has a lot of nostalgia for him. I'd very much appreciate it if you could. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
That one's for you, Sam. So glad you got the movie you wanted, dude.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bobcat wants to know, if the human story in a kaiju movie was the strongest part of the movie, would that be a bug or a feature? Definitely feature.
A bug. A bug to be certain. A bug to be certain.
Let's see here. Derek Mozzarella wants to know.
Unless they're building the kaijus or somewhat.
That's what I would assume it would be used for. You know.
Yeah.
Let's see here. If it wasn't, then definitely a bug.
Yeah.
Mozzarella wants to know, what's the first Mortal Kombat game I should play as a relative newcomer to fighting games? Only ones I ever played were a bit of Injustice at a friend's house and Street Fighter 2 when I was little. Mortal Kombat 9.
MK9. Absolutely.
Let's see here. Rias Khan wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Mortal Kombat movie? To me, I'm worried they took too many liberties with the source material to be enjoyable. I have not seen the most recent trailer. So,
neither have I.
Yeah, based on the first trailer, I'm intrigued, not happy that they didn't put Johnny Cage in there. Really hated the justification for it because he was a white guy. And I'm like, you don't have to make him the hero. The hero of Mortal Kombat has always been Liu Kang, much as I hate it. You know?
Yeah.
So, like, he was always the butt of the joke. He didn't become the hero until MK10.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. Xenoneck wants to know if I'm on good terms with Eric July. Well, I've never met him, so I think that I'm not on anything with him, really. I would like to meet him. He seems, I like some of his videos. Seems like a pretty swell guy. I haven't listened to his music, so I can't say anything about that, but... let's see here. Servant says, rewriting Ripley Oppas making the internal civil war or lack of a good term for the crazy at Lucasfilm seem like it's spreading beyond Disney. Other things aren't helping that. How do you guys think this is to be resolved, or is this to stop the crazy for good? So I'm still not convinced that there is an actual civil war inside Disney right now. I think that there are some people that just aren't happy that Gina Carano was fired from The Mandalorian because they're part of The Mandalorian staff and they like her. That's basically it.
I don't know. If anything, the fact that Lucasfilm employees are in on the rewriting Ripley op,
that on the other hand
tells me that there is some factionalism there.
Well, that on the other hand makes me think that there's definitely some.
The all-female Ocean's 11 was a flop. The Charlie's Angels reboot was a flop. Terminator not Genesis. Dark Fate was a flop. And Star Wars, the last two numbered movies were not.
They underperformed. Good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it there is evidence that yes, these do financially tank franchises, but people still keep pushing and pushing, like force feeding almost. So I don't know that just saying it's not profitable is enough to dissuade people anymore. There really, I think, needs to be a cultural shift, and I don't know how that could really happen outside of a full-on media shift. Whereas our mass media nowadays is very left-leaning. Pendulum would have to swing back to the right in order to, push these obviously politically charged projects back into the ground. And God only knows what it would take to do that anyway. We might be here for a while.
D. Lloyd throws in a buck, says, given creative control, how would you fix the Carol Danvers character? I'd stop making her Mary Sue. I'd let her struggle. Like, she just doesn't. Ever since Kelly Sudaconics run on her, the character just doesn't struggle anymore. And as such, Carol Danvers is now a joke instead of one of the best Avengers to be in the Avengers. All right. Let's see here. Still got 5 minutes. So let's hit the chat. Then we owe a couple two truths and a lie things. So, Leonardo Juan wants to know, if I decide to give you $1,000 and you chose to choose between The Last of Us 2 and a waifu anime, which one would you pick? If you paid me $1,000, not only would I play The Last of Us 2, I would stream it. Waifu anime, no thanks. Somebody already paid me to fucking watch Tenchi Universe. And
That's right.
I keep getting to the moment where I'm about to do it and then not doing it. So.
Oh God.
So yeah.
Yeah, waifu anime for me, it doesn't bother me. Last of Us Part 2 bothers me. So. Yeah, that would have to be my choice because, of course, you get what you pay for, and what you pay for is anger and despondency. $1,000 though. You really have that kind of money just lying around?
I'm not going to turn it down. Let's see here. Harbold wants to know, do I still see Gina Carano likely to return to the Mandalorian cast? There's claims the show itself is done for some reason. Well, I doubt the show is done because of its popularity.
Yeah, it's not done.
I'm still playing the long game on this one. I actually do think there's a good possibility that, because of how pissed off Favreau is, that when it comes time for them to start production on the next season, he says, she's in or I walk. So, because he was apparently fucking.
I hope they would do that.
He was apparently fucking irate that it happened. So, but the thing is, that's not going to happen for a bit because we're getting that Boba Fett series, and that's probably going to be what leads into the next season of The Mandalorian. So that's going to be the next crossroads, is what they do with Jon Favreau. If they let Favreau go, then The Mandalorian is fucked. It's just fucked. They're done. That's basically it. Like Disney Star Wars, I don't really think has anything else that's gonna bring in that kind of subscriber base to it. And I know that I've got some fans in the chat of like the fucking Clone Wars and shit, which is fine. The Clone Wars, like, there's the amount of people that you would think were getting Disney Plus to watch that is not as much as you would think. The Mandalorian is what drove up subscriptions, not Clone Wars season, the last season of the Clone Wars. And I'm sorry, that's just a fact. Let's see here. Gregory Urban wants to know thoughts on Stone Ocean finally getting an anime adaptation, just finally to see if Jolene will make an appearance. Well, the season's based on her. It's of course Jolene's gonna make an appearance, but man, Stone Ocean. A lot of people are gonna be horny on Maine while that show is out because Jolene is. I've read part of Stone Ocean. Like that girl is like super horny on Maine. So, like, it's going to be an interesting season. I'll just put it that way. It's going to be an interesting season to watch. I'm going to watch it because I enjoy... I loved the first 3 seasons of JoJo. I liked the most recent season, too. Giorno Giovanna's season as well. But, I don't care about Diamond is Unbreakable. I just didn't like it. Had the weakest JoJo, in my opinion. And I'm not really the biggest fan of Monster of the Week shows anyway. 420 Gunny throws in $5, says, Terminator Dark Fate is a perfect example of making a movie woke being garbage. Also, Nostalgia Critic is stupid for saying Dark Fate is not that bad or the worst of the Terminator movies. P.S. I see you're feeling the pain from Tenchi. Yeah. So. Alright, Hatman, start getting the overflow stuff. So if I did not get to your questions today. Yep, definitely overflow the Hatman. Now it is time for Two Truths and a Lie. Hatman, I owe one, and then Hatman owes one, and then if somebody donates $1, then ow. A weird muscle pinch in my back there for a second. And then if we get another, then I got another one to do. So, Hatman, go ahead and give me a subject for this.
Food.
Food. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of some really interesting ones. Okay. Foods I have eaten.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a few, like, weird ones. Actually, no. Let's scratch that one. Food. Stuff I can cook. I can make. Well, Hatman. Now I get another one after this, apparently, or after years. So stuff I can cook. I can make enchiladas from scratch. That includes the tortillas. I can make pizza from scratch. And I can make fried chicken from scratch.
Clarify. Are you talking deep dish pizza or thin crust?
Well, let's just say either thin or basically thin or rising crust. I could make a stuffed crust if I, yeah. So.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm lying and I can't make any of them.
No.
Dang, man.
Gun safety, everybody. Leave the safety on. That's why I left the safety on. Fried chicken from scratch. Enchilada from scratch, including the tortilla. Pizza from scratch. I kind of feel like if you could do an enchilada, you could probably do a pizza. So I'm going to say no, but that's the thing. Fried chicken is not that fucking difficult. I'm gonna guess pizza, because pizza dough can be really fucking tricky to do.
It's not actually. I can't make enchiladas from scratch.
Interesting.
I don't know how to make the tortillas properly. I can make the sauce though, and I can make red sauce, but I can't.
Interesting.
I can't make the tortilla from scratch.
I've always had problems with pizza dough. I can never get the consistency right.
Nope, I've made them before. I've made thin crust and I've made like thicker crust too. So
like lasagna pizza.
And I used to actually like have a job. I used to make fried chicken from scratch for a job. That was my second job.
Yeah, fried chicken is not. It's not that. If anyone here knows how to make fried chicken, it's not that fucking difficult.
No,
it's really not.
Well, actually, it wasn't completely from scratch, but I figured it out. I figured out what the egg mixture was just from smelling it. It was just basically egg yolks, milk, and pepper, and a cup of pepper and paprika. And because I worked at a Hardee's, and that was back when they did fried chicken, so that's what I did. Is I just did chicken for I think like the first 6 months I worked there. So
there you go.
So yeah. All right, Hatman.
Give me a topic.
Anime you have watched.
Anime I have watched. Okay. Well, clarification. Is it anime I've watched all the way through or just watched any of?
Let's do all the way through.
Okay. Anime I've watched all the way through.
While you think of that, 420 Gunny threw in... Actually, a couple of guys put in money. Darth Bobcat threw in a bucket and said, apologize for being snippy earlier. I needed this to calm down a little. It's alright, man. Yeah, everybody has their moments. I certainly had one at the beginning of politics. Holy shit. 420, I still feel bad about that. 420 Gunny threw in $3, says, by the way, after you grind through the pain that is Tenchi, I'll pay you to watch something really good like Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. Pretty sure you'll enjoy it. Also, did you hear about MLB going on Game Pass as Sony fans are salty about it? I did. The thing is, I don't like the show, so I'm probably not going to play it myself. So, but yes, I did hear about that. All right, Hatman, what you got? People are like, Hardee's did fried chicken. I'm old.
Ah, no, that one's gonna be obvious if I do it. I gotta write them down because that one's obvious because I know I've talked about watching it on here. I was gonna put Gundam on the list. I'm like, no, Mobile Suit Gundam. I've talked about
Yeah,
watching
we've
before. So
we've had discussions about the first Gundam show. So
yeah, let's see.
while you're thinking that, also somebody asked me, do I prefer thick or thin crust? Thick and or stuffed crust. Like thin crust is like a cracker to me. Like I have like, again, gorilla hands, right? So this is a Snapple bottle, right? This is a full size bottle of Snapple. This is how many ounces? 16 ounces, right? 16-ounce bottle of Snapple. There's my hand. All right, Hatman, what you got?
Um, I'm trying to think of one more that I've seen that's kind of like out there a little bit, but I'm not. Well, not really out there, but shit. Um. hmm. I think I've got.
Come on, Hatman.
Yeah, I'm trying to get something. Fuck. Ah, fuck it. I'm just go with this one. I'm gonna just go with that one.
Go.
All right. So, we've got anime I have seen: Future Diary or Mirai Nikki, Dragon Ball Super, and Plastic Memories.
I'm gonna go bold here and say you didn't finish Dragon Ball Super.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't
Slow
know
Hatman,
why.
yes.
I don't
Slow
know why
Hatman is
I'm
slow.
getting that feeling, but because Future Diary strikes me as something that you've probably watched. I don't know why.
Future Diary is really fucking weird, though. That's the thing.
That's what I've heard. I do want to watch it at some point. I will have to see if it's on Funimation because I share that with a friend of mine. So
Hmm. Chat. Apparently, I'm too slow for chat. Either they're just not guessing anything, or they're having a hard time deciding.
come on, chat. What you got? I'm sticking with mine.
All right, Gojira says Mirai Nikki. Not familiar with any of them. First one, so Mira Nikki, another Dragon Ball. I get it. Plastic Memories is one of those that's just relatively obscure that you're like, oh no, if he knows about that one, he's seen it. Uh-huh. I see.
Well, I know Plastic Memory through, like, Reputation. You know? But I've never seen it.
It has a reputation, really?
Yeah.
I wasn't aware it had a reputation.
It's the one I'm thinking of, anyway.
Okay.
Oh, no, this is not the one I was thinking of. I'm thinking of... I was thinking of Plastic Little, not Plastic Memories.
Oh. Okay. Nope, you were right on the money. I have not finished Super.
I had a feeling.
Yep. I have not. I haven't really watched a whole hell of a lot of it, to be perfectly honest. Like, I've seen the critical episodes and most of the last tournament, the Tournament of Power, I think it was what it was called. But
the Tournament of Predictability.
I haven't seen the whole. Yeah, I know, right? But no, the rest of it, I pretty much nothing. Future Diary is really fucking weird, and you will, if you watch it, you will hate the protagonist because he's such a whiny fucking bitch, and he doesn't understand that the fucking yandere pink hair waifu is literally the worst person ever for him. He's so fucking dumb. I hate his ass. Excuse me. And Plastic Memories is just fucking sad. It's fucking sad. It is depressing. So. All right. You've got one more?
I do. Yeah, go ahead and pick a topic for me.
Okay. Let's see. Food, anime. Food, anime. I'm not going to say books because I know I won't get that one fucking right.
Real quick, while you're saying that, apparently Jordan Peterson is doing Hail Lobster t-shirts, and I'm thinking I might actually buy one. Just to fuck people.
Oh, God. Oh, my Lord.
I always love it, by the way, whenever I retweet one of my articles from RT, and it's like, would you like to read it first? Already ahead of you on that one, guys. All right. What do you got for me?
Let's... Anime, food... Let's just be simple. Let's go with movies. Why the hell not?
Okay. Movies. I will have to think of 3 that I have seen that I have not worshipped. So,
interesting. I was thinking of like 3 that you have on your shelf, but that one might be a little predictable.
Movies that I own? That could be interesting.
I mean, you go for whatever the hell you want, but that one might be a little better.
I'm trying to think, though. I don't even remember everything that I own.
Do you own any digital movies?
A lot of them.
I was about to say, it could be anything you have on digital or physical.
Yeah.
Or movies that you've seen in theaters.
No, let's do ones that I own.
Okay. Go with that.
So, movies that I own. Um, Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay.
And my brain is kind of going through my list here. Hold on a sec.
All right.
I feel like I actually have a listing for like whenever I move, so that I know what I've got. So I'm actually gonna pull that up real quick. So for another one that's kind of obscure.
Oh, damn, this is funky.
Okay. And then the third one is the Hurt Locker.
Richard Donner cut, Johnny Mnemonic, and the Hurt Locker.
Which one don't I own?
Which one don't you own? My gut is telling me Johnny Mnemonic.
Okay.
Literally the only reason why is because if we're talking digital, the Richard Donner cut goes on sale like all the fucking time. And that seems to be one of them that you would be like, hey, it's $5. Fuck it, I'll get it. I'm going to stick with Johnny Mnemonic, actually.
Okay. GTA Driver says Hurt Locker ? If you don't know what that movie is, it's actually a really good one. It stars Jeremy Renner before he was basically a household name, as like basically a war addict who was like a bomb disposal guy in Iraq. It's fucking awesome.
He's EOD. Yeah.
Now, one thing I should say about all
Oscars, I think.
Yeah, one thing I should say about all three movies is I have seen all of them. So. Let's see here. Daniel Parker thinks that I don't own Johnny Mnemonic. Okay, I'll go ahead and answer it. It is actually I don't own Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut.
Are fucking seriously?
Mm-hmm. I've never taken the time to buy it. I borrowed it.
Jesus Christ.
It was one of the first Blu-rays I ever watched, but I never bought it. I rented it because the reason for that is I had a PS3. And I went out there to kind of look on the interwebs and see what are the best PS3 exclusives. And I stumbled on this video from Screw Attack, where they actually said one of the must-owns for any PlayStation owner is Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut. And it is far superior than the original cut, to say the least. Mostly because he doesn't kill Zod in it, which is stupid. He shouldn't. That was something that really bugged me about the original. It's like, and that's why a lot of people like the Richard Donner cut a lot more.
It's still fucking $5.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's still $5 on fucking digital.
I know.
That was like an impulse buy for me. I'm like, oh, $5, fuck it. It's still fucking $5.
I just never got around to it. So
shit.
I guess I will have to do that tonight. But yeah. All right, folks. It is that time. We've got we got the overflow stuff really quick. Just want to thank everybody for their generosity. 420 Gunny, Darth Bobcat, D.E. Lloyd, Chaos Sonic, Dirty Dan. Let's see here. Servant, I know, did as well. Changus, on top of that. I think I got everybody. Damos as well, and Serena. So thank you all very much for your generosity. It's very much appreciated. And yeah. Well, at this point, we are gonna go and get the print files set up for 3 nights, 4 days. If you have not bought that yet, the link is in the description. Next week, we're going to be doing the cutoff on that campaign. Because, again, it's going out to print. The only reason we would reopen it is if, like, Mixam fucks up the print the proofs that they send back to us. Which I don't think I'm not that worried about. But, ultimately, though, what we're going to be doing next week is we will be doing a closeout stream for it. So we'll have Micah and the Hatman, like usual, on Fridays. Then after that's over, we're going to go over to the Sleeveless Comics channel to do the closeout stream over there. Where, basically, I am going to play through the entirety of the Resident Evil 2 remake. Both campaigns. So, Claire A, Leon B. Which is the canonical way it goes. And, yeah. So that's going to be a big one. One thing I will mention is that if you did not snatch up the art book, if you haven't snatched up in general, how dare you? But if you didn't snatch up the art book, you might want to reconsider getting it. Because we're never printing it again. So, and it's actually going to fill in... It's going to fill in some lore about the universe that you're not going to find anywhere else. So, with all that said, we're going to go ahead and take off. So, yeah. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, and good God, this storm is kind of scaring me.
That's not good. But we'll see you next week. Days full.